Gede, Kang Kambing lainnya pasti kartonnya kayak membawa berita.
Emang buku entah.
Hari kamu keren loh bahasa itu persuasif sekali. Apa afirmatif.
Daripada tendensius.
Cuma karena kita orang aja jadi nggak ngaruh ya.
Aduh, ini nggak ada mahasiswa itu.
Tapi nggak masuk ininya Pak.
Oh, nggak masuk powerpoint-nya ya?
Nah, ini belum sih. Nah, ada tahu. Tadi sih. Kalau ada yang lagi.
Masuk.
Apa Nan? Depan apa Nan?
Sosok itu.
Ini dari aset.
Pernah negara pernah di depan.
Ya.
Udah mulai? Nih mic-nya Pak. Udah ditekan. Udah. Iya, gimana cuy?
Linknya panjang sekali.
Ini aja Pak. Oh ini mau dioper-oper.
Proper. Oh, proper berarti.
Udah mulai mah di ini udah.
Ini langsung Pak Nizar.
Linknya dioper linknya.
Gini.
Supaya ini itu yang gua ini ada.
Apa itu?
Ada yang dua.
Kamera apa? Linknya. Oh ya boleh.
Okay, the Honorable Head of ELT Department, IAIN Nashruddin Cirebon, the Editor-in-Chief of ELT Eco Journal, the Honorable our distinguished speaker, Mr. Wakhid Nashruddin, and also the Honorable Secretary of ELT Department, Mr. Hendy. Yeah, so welcome to the third episode of ELTRIS, ELT Research and Innovation Series. So ELTRIS is jointly managed and organized by ELT Eco Journal, Eshokol, and also ELT Department, IAIN Nashruddin Cirebon. So every 3 weeks, we can share our learning experience, our research, and also our perspective. Well, let me read our agenda first. The first thing, we are going to have an opening, then we are going to have our main agenda, which is the presentations from Pak Wakhid, and then there will be a sharing sessions or question and answer sessions, and then there will be a closing. Okay, so without further ado, let's open the third episode of ELTRIS by reciting Basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And then we are going to have our main agenda, which is the presentations from our speaker, Pak Wakhid Nashruddin, Ph.D. So Pak Wakhid is a prominent figure in our department. He is an alumnus of our department, IAIN Nashruddin Cirebon. He is also the Vice Dean of FUA. Yeah, Pak. Okay. He got his master's degree from State University of Malang, and he got his PhD from Charles Darwin University. Among his research interests are teachers' professional development and also teaching, speaking, and listening in EFL context. Today, Pak Wakhid will share his perspective about motivation and mindset in foreign language learning. So, Pak Wakhid, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Osi, for introducing the session. Hello, good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for your coming, and this is a very interesting forum, and this is a place where we can share our thoughts and ideas or maybe questions. And like what I have here, motivation and mindset in foreign language learning is actually a part of our discussion in the last episode, is that right? So this is not my finding. I'm still querying about this. This is just a thing that came out to my mind that what's making it different between motivation and mindset? That's my question, because in our discussion last episode, I questioned the presenter, Pak Nana, about motivation, and then Pak Lala came up with mindset for better foreign language learning. So what is the position? I don't really understand. And I haven't finished my reading. I haven't finished my exploration. This is just the beginning of my, search, quest for mindset and motivation in foreign language learning. So language learning motivation is quite old, maybe about 60 years of age. One of the prominent professor is Zoltan Durny from, I don't know, where is he now? But this is quite old. When we talk about motivation, it's very old, 60 years old. And actually there is a book about 60 years of second language learning motivation research. And when we talk about motivation, we come to normally internal and external motivation. So this is what popular in what the teachers talk about internal and external motivation. Internal is something from inside of the learners, and external is from other people. Here's the position of teachers, where they also have to have injected motivation from the external side. Well, when we talk about motivation actually a kind of energy, power source, and we can rephrase using why, how hard, and how long for questioning how motivation is. But then nowadays, when we talk about motivation, we cannot just talk about motivation per se, just one point, but we need to relate it to other fields, and that make motivation is not complex, not just based on one point of view. While language learning mindset, maybe it's about from 1990s, so about 30 or 40 years of age, become popular. And long time ago, it called implicit theories. It referred to fundamental core beliefs and that individuals hold about the nature and malleability of various aspects of the human condition. And the person firstly talk about second language learning motivation, learning mindset is Professor Carol Dweck. She began writing in if I'm not mistaken, 1809 about learning mindset. And well, there are two kind of mindset. They have fixed mindset and then growth mindset. And here, what is considered to be very good or very powerful to drive students' learning is growth mindset. So in her research, the students with growth mindset completely took charge of their learning and motivation. We have motivation also in mindset. So instead of plunging into unthinking memorization of the course material, the students will say, I looked for themes and underlying principles across lectures. And I went over mistakes until it was certain I understood them. So they were studying to learn, not just to ace the test. And actually, this was why they got higher grades, not because they were smarter or had a better background in science or in any other fields. I don't know if you can see that, but here are some key points of motivation. This is just a part. Once again, I tell you that this is my very early exploration. This is not fixed yet. I still have to read lots of things. But motivation is classified as an aspect of the individual and comprises three parts: intensity, desire to learn the language, and attitudes towards the language. So we have three components here in language learning motivation. We have internal and external factors. when we talk about motivation again. But in a task goal, conceptualization learners are motivated by an interest in learning itself or the learning task. In a performance orientation, learners are motivated by comparing themselves to their peers. So this is more, we talk about internal motivation. While the mindset framework is how it connects to a range of other key psychological variables, illustrating some of the interconnection between mindset, self-efficacy, attributions, and patterns of motivation. So when we talk about mindset, we also talk about motivation actually. And well, for me, this is, I still need to figure out where the position of motivation and mindset, because actually, we both are interrelated, I think. Okay, so we have two kinds of mindset. The fixed mindset, fixed language learning mindset, describe a person who holds the belief that successful language learning is attributable to natural talent or to an innate ability. So this maybe they will, you know, the fixed mindset will say that nothing can change. It just come by nature. God creates that. I cannot do anything. If I can do that, so it means God doesn't want me to be able to do that. While we also have growth language learning mindset. So Henry took it from the previous model, and someone who holds the beliefs that language skills can be developed as a result of effort and practice. So that's what people call as growth language learning mindset. I'll skip this, but this is, I don't know if you can see that, but we compare growth mindset and intrinsic motivation. So it's we have neuroscience evidence that part of brain, really interesting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brain area. Really, I don't understand this brain area. I just talk about this, and I said we still need to do further exploration. For example, in growth mindset, we have dorsal anterior cingulate cortex. I don't know, Pak Lala, if you know this part. And similarly, intrinsic motivation also work in that area, anterior cingulate cortex. So both motivation, intrinsic motivation, and growth mindset, they have the same area activate in the brain. And also ventral striatum, I don't know which part is this. Also, how do you say that? It works when you have growth mindset and intrinsic motivation. So these are based on research by Ang is just reviewing from neuroscience findings, and then she concludes that actually growth mindset and intrinsic motivation are really related. And maybe this is the end of the slide. What I want to say is, why cannot say that mindset is more important than motivation? Because mindset is built on motivation. However, motivation is not enough, that it should be internalized for mindset. So, what is it? Well, I'm just thinking on my way here, that maybe research in second language learning or foreign language learning, we need to come to see what kind of activities that will activate ventral striatum or anterior cingulate. Is that the way I don't know how to pronounce that? Anterior cingulate cortex. So become activated. So I don't know, maybe for further research, I suggest that we have to know how to activate this area, what kind of activities that should be done for students, for learners, in order for them to activate this growth area. So motivation itself is not really easy to develop, right? Especially when we face learners with low intrinsic motivation. But the question is how teachers can design activities in the sense of activating this uh, brain area for better motivation and mindset. I think that's from me. Ozzy.
So, thank you, Pak Wahid, for the short yet informative and also intriguing presentations. And now it is time for sharing or questions and answers. So I'd like to invite the audience to share their perspective, to share their take on this matter. Yeah, please. Yeah, maybe Pak Lala.
Thank you, Boy. So I think the title of the science is actually of a passage that I'm writing in Luqman on my book. So in chapter 2 of my book that will be published in England, I am talking about the kinds of activities that may activate all those parts, I mean, the brainstem, the hippocampus, the frontal cortex, and other parts that are dealing with growth mindset and interest motivation. But in that chapter, I particularly criticize the typical or traditional reading activities that we have in the classroom. So this is my passage. That I started with a question. What is the learning outcome when a student reads a story silently from a textbook and then responds to the questions at the end of the story using complete sentences? So I started chapter with a question, and I came up with some single answers based on the references I gathered so far, and the answer is to independently extract meaning from dark squiggles on a page and to communicate a persist of the meaning of the squiggles to an audience of one, which is actually the teacher. So that's actually what's happening in our classroom. So those activities do not actually promote tinkering. It's actually a concept that I addressed in my talk in ELTRIS first episode. Without exploration, without tinkering, without I don't know, it's actually exploration of learning that's actually tinkering that should lead students to discover something in the classroom. I think your talk is actually a key reminder that we have been dealing with our path of learning. I think it's been discussed back in 2014 by Fuller, I guess, a professor from Canada. So as a result, if we keep doing the same thing, read the pages separately, and then we ask the students questions, there is no discovery, no interaction, no risk, no negotiation, nor actual learning occurring. So I think we have to do something about it. In reading classrooms, we have to stop asking questions, right? In writing classroom, we have to create more. In reading, that's why we need, reading for emotions. Actually, it's a brain compatible learning tool that activates many areas of the brain and body. I'm still working on that. So I believe that silent reading is a crucial practice, but the main idea is that an approach centered on assigning and assessing tasks does not promote substantial learning. So I think we have to go back to the idea of exploration mentioned by Jacques Hansek. We are now working on the curriculum transformation, right? If we can actually change the motions of learning, I don't know. Genre-based approach is pretty much sequential, and that's the thing I hate about genre-based approach. And then in tinkering approach, we do not use any particular recipes. I think we can use this new tinkering approach in listening, in reading, in writing, and speaking classroom. I think we have to stop assigning and assessing low-level tasks because we have to activate. I mean, we have the instruments in our body, in our brains to become much more smarter. But then when we keep doing the very same approach, reading suddenly, and then simply responding to questions, it deactivates all the rich instruments that we have. So I think we have to ask Sekdul and Bu Sekdul, who is not present again today, whether or not we will do some crazy stuff. Are we going to change the motions of learning in our language skills classroom or not? I think we have to take some firm policy on that topic.
Yeah.
Thank you, really.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, Paula, I see that this is very crucial. I mean, we need to rethink and then reformulate, right? Reformulate how the way we teach in order to help or assist students learning. I think we agree on that point that teaching is not merely about delivering materials or delivering things again, but teaching means we assist, we accompany, we go with our students in doing such exploration and get insights for our learning. But then that's my own question. That's my own question, how to do that. Developing is not as simple as that we create just do it pump and then happen, but we need to really carefully, maybe we should, I don't know, for our students maybe later on, this student, what's her name? Okay, I think we should go there. I mean, we need someone to read and find evidence what kind of activities that can really make this cortex and then striatum work. And we cannot just leave it there. We have to do something with this. And I agree with Pak Lala, the idea of doing, we're not merely, what is it? Maybe the question should be, rearranged. I mean, we're having a higher level order thinking for questions.
I think that's the reason why I detest the twofold or IELTS approach in reading, because it's simply answering questions and questions.
Mhm.
But the real reading actually not related to the personal growth of the person that is actually reading. So we have to think it over. Whether we have to promote IELTS or TOEFL from the very first semester, because I don't know, I'm just reflecting on my personal experience. Well, it's actually fun to have a higher score of TOEFL,
Mhm.
but I may not have a personal growth because the literature says that reading is about finding yourself, finding the voice of yourself,
Mhm.
not dealing with the score.
Yep.
I think we have to talk about that.
Yeah. That's true. Okay, very interesting. What's it?
Okay, well, thank you, Malala. And then maybe from the other audience, you would like to share your perspective.
Thank you very much. Well, perhaps I'm going to see this from different perspectives. Palala mentions, and also you have mentioned about this into a neuroscience field, right? But then in 2016, I listened to a direct presentations on TED Talk.
Okay,
And
interesting.
then in 2017, we wrote, and at that time, we talked about how to do it, how we can actually differentiate and how we can actually make the growth mindset exist and how fixed mindset is actually practiced in the classroom. This is interesting result because she took a research for more than 6 years.
Yeah.
And then the result conclude that there are two types of mindset, fixed and growth mindset.
Yeah.
But then you give another solution, how to create the growth mindset is one. And then at that time, she proposed the pricing techniques.
Sorry?
So pricing
Pricing,
techniques,
okay.
the way the language that we use is actually playing very vital to students' growth and fixed mindset. For example, when we say to the person that you are smart, this is actually creating fixed mindset. But when we say to the student, you're doing great, you have done good, even when you fail, even if you fail, you have already shown that you have already done, and you have already did your best. And this kind of thing is actually very important to to somehow create students' mindset.
Mhm.
And I think as a lecturer, we need to build that kinds of instincts in our class. Even we cannot just blame the student that you're still better.
No.
This is actually creating what is called fixed mindset. So having growing mindset is actually dealing with another things. This actually why I like to read this kind of thing with activism, because we cannot deny that these things happens because we relate with others. So yeah, I do agree with Palara that reading is one of the way to boost someone's growth mindset. That is true. But I think we need to add one more aspect, which is actually as a human being. I think this is an important. Exactly, this is for life classes. We have different things. But when we have offline class, I think this kinds of thing is important. Important. When you mentioned that this is the research area that maybe we can direct this to the neuroscience, but I think this kinds of thing is also important. Because I saw that some of my students, for example, some of the students think that this kinds of environment is not really supportive in creating such kinds of things. For example, growth mindset. We have to realize that the input of our students is somewhere is not all, but some of the students have low ability. We don't say that they cannot grow, but we need to believe that they can grow. But we need to find such a way in order to make this mindset is actually applied by students in terms of their mindset, of course. And then by creating, I don't really exactly know what is actually to be done to make it grow. But one of the examples is proposed by Banana, and I think it's good. But I think the research about the connections between teaching, the teacher and students, and also I think this is also important because as Carol Dweck have already have this concept, I mentioned that praising is one of the ways to create such kinds of minds. So I think the area that we need to also focus on is actually the how is it, records of the students and the teacher in teaching and learning process. And Carol Dweck operated this type of mindset. The mindset. I bought the book and I have read the book, and this is interesting to read for educators, for teachers, and for lecturers, and also for parents. Because,
Parents.
yeah, especially parents, I think, because this is actually, so that's why in 2016, we have our own, we have in ELTRIS at that time, in 2016 to 17, I present language vitamins. It is the idea is actually comes from the presentation presented by Aaron Drake, that we forget that vitamin is something that is actually beneficial for our children's body, right? But we never realize that the word that we use to say to our children is actually give the vitamins. It can make our children have a growth mindset, but at the same time, we also can create them to fix just to research. The more the successful type of student are those who have growth mindset. Although in the beginning they are tested the same, but in the end they have different results. And the growth mindset types of students actually can beat the fixed mindset point. That is the conclusion of the research that he found, that she conducted in I forget the years, but the results showing that the growth mindset is actually need to be one choice for our educators. Yeah, I think
that's interesting.
that area needs to be also to think up more on yeah. I used to say that this is a social constructivism actually. So the connection to teachers and students is also important in giving what is called growth mindset.
And that's, thank you. That's interesting. Well, when you talk about the years, 6 years of research, I don't know, Andy, maybe we also maybe also have to do something with this idea.
Yeah.
Maybe we can start measuring our students' mindset. We have the students now, and then let them come, and then we check how is their mindset. And then we keep the information, and then we let the lecturers teaching, and then see what kinds of motivation that can help them move from fixed mindset to growth mindset. Maybe in the end of semester 6 or what. I don't know. I mean, we have the data for the moment. Appraisal is just one idea, and then she has more, right? Appraisal is just an example, and what kind of appraisal that really works for the students. So I would like to comment that in the context of our students here, maybe in Indonesia, they know if the limitation of growth mindset is only about it is if mindset is about belief, how to say it? Wait a second. They actually know that. I mean, the students here know that the language skills can be developed by learning, by doing the many things, learning actually. But the problem is they don't want to do that. Is that the part of mindset or motivation? That's really a question. If I ask them, do you think you can improve your language? Yes, of course. But then they do nothing. So this is, a part where mindset and motivation is really need to be explored further. I don't know which part. If that's mindset is as that simple, where the problem will not be here. But the problem is that they believe that they can change the language skill, but they don't want to learn. So I think maybe we have, well, as teachers, we need to have, we come from external, we are external, right? We have to give motivation from external, and how to make this external motivation internalized in the learners so they will have growth mindset that work for them, not only stopping in the idea, okay, I know I can change, but they don't want to change. I think that's another question for me.
From research also actually, there is no explanations on the condition of the family.
Yep.
So I think I'm not saying that this is actually 100% correct, because there are actually some.
Yeah, also thinking about that.
Yeah, that's why when Farah discussed about agency, and also you talk about agency, and I think this is actually things that we miss. So we just partially think that this is only because of pricing. For example, from the result of current result finding. But I think it's more on that. It's more on giving pricing by teachers, because students' life is more with their parents, right? So I think maybe there are some we do not see the data telling that what is actually comes with
that's another research.
with their students. So Carol would just give the pricing. That is actually what she did, but she didn't mention what is actually happening in the classroom after school. Do parents really support this, or maybe that I forget whether there is an explanation if Carol explained to their parents, and then the parents agree with the prescriptions that is given by Carol. I haven't found that much data also it is in the finding, and I think this is actually a gray area, which is why I like to see it from an ecological perspective, because I don't think that this is actually comes in in a single effect or in a single treatment. I think that this is complex. So, like Rasan Freeman mentioned in his book, it's complex but not complicated.
Okay. Yeah, right. That's
Yeah, this
interesting.
complexity is actually
Yeah, and Carol Dweck is in USA, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And we have in Indonesia. So I don't know if we just limit to fixed and then growth mindset in that way. I just think that there are other factors that really influence the mindset.
Yeah, but this idea is actually great.
Great, really.
Carol Dweck already proposed something which is like it is enlightenment
Mm.
to pictures, but I think the fact is not as simply as Carol Dweck mentioned.
Yeah. I agree, and that needs further exploration. Okay.
Or maybe we have to put some posters on growth mindset and fixed mindset in every corner of the university.
Okay.
Because the poster will say that someone with growth mindset will embrace challenges. They can be inspired by success of others. So we have to tell the success story of our department. I don't know, maybe we can do something about it, because if the lecturers are fixed, fixed mindset people, then there is nothing we can do about the curriculum. I mean, we have to focus more on the people, on the curriculum. So we haven't touched that part yet. We only change the curriculum, we remove those parts, we put some more stuff in the curriculum, but we haven't talked about how can we actually grow as an individual. I think that's, nobody has done research on that.
Yep.
Maybe you have to do that on Utah next year, or
Interesting.
you have to measure every single person here.
Yeah, right. Not only the students, also the lecturers. Another study.
Because we will have one international class in the department as part of one team. So there should be one single international class. Like the lecturers who are working in the international class are the ones with the best messages.
So yeah, it is actually about creating an environment.
So
how can we make our students having growth mindset while they're lecturers? They don't have the kinds of things. They don't have that kinds of mindset. So I think this is work for both, on the students and also lecturers. Yeah, posting some words like Clara mentioned is actually one of the way creating the environment.
In that building before, I gave assignment for students, if you remember. I put posters, right? It's Sandy's classes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I asked him to take quotes and then make poster.
Yeah,
I think Sandy's class, I think.
That's language vitamins.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's vitamin. I don't know that. I just do it. Okay.
So what? Yeah.
Yes.
I don't really understand about this issue, but I'm with certain points. The first one is so growth mindset and fixed mindset, adaptive mindset. Do they reflect kind of leveling or just classification of the description of individual mindset? Because you stated earlier that we can engage or motivate students to move from the fixed mindset to the growth mindset. So it reflects such level. I need to confirm that.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's a kind of really leveling part. But this is,
So why do the students need to move from the fixed to the growth, or from one kind of mindset to another?
So this is about belief, as Zaki told before. So the belief. So when you believe that, okay, this is me, this is who I am, God creates me, and then that's it. So we just do it just like that. But when you have a belief that, okay, God gives me potency, right? Give me very great brain, and then you do something. I can achieve anything. So that will be different. But then still the question for me is really is this mindset really works or not? It's also dependent on other factors. So I don't think it's about leveling now. So it's about the, you know,
I think that will be
unmeasurable,
yeah,
unmeasurable.
unmeasurable.
Yeah.
So what do we need to motivate students to move from one type of mindset to another one?
Because with just growth mindset we can develop. Growth mindset is you say adaptive. Growth mindset is actually there.
Okay.
So growing, you see, growing means you can develop, right? And the belief will lead students to do something for their best, achievement.
Okay. And from your presentation, I got some ideas about research. First one is about the correlation of those kinds of mindsets to the students' procrastination attitude.
Ah, I see. Okay.
So which one, which mindset give or affect more to the students' procrastination attitude in their final project?
Yep, yep. Interesting.
That's all.
Yeah, that's your job. Good. That's your job. Very interesting, right? So, still, the question for me is, how is this really actually the mindset, really?
Is it really possible for someone who have a growth mindset to not have any motivations, intrinsic motivation? Is it possible?
That's what I see. That's what I see. That's the question. Why, if we just make it simple, we have fixed and growth mindset. Okay, the growth mindset is, well, yes, we know. Almost all students know that they can develop. But the question is then why? They didn't do their jobs. They didn't want to learn. So that motivation and mindset, for me, is something that not really one single point, but I don't know. This is exploration.
I think when we conduct this this is how she actually conducted research. In the first month, in grade one, all the students are actually tested,
Mhm.
and the score are actually lowest. The same even some of the students have lowest score than.
Mhm.
So they have two types of score. The first is the highest and the lowest. So these kinds of scoring will be used by her as pre-research.
Mhm.
And then at that time, we tried to have pricing since they are in grade 1 till grade 6. And then the pricing model is actually given by yeah. This kind is actually a certain sentences. So yeah, I do believe that it's not. It can't be. It hasn't been applicated as quantitative data, but it is more to qualitative and interpretations. And then in the end, the score is actually taken again. And then the results show that those who are given, so it is actually experiment now.
Oh yeah, right.
Students has no pricing techniques. These types of students they use this pricing technique.
Yep.
And in the end, those who has low score in the beginning, in the end actually get those with the high score.
Yeah.
And then this is for the quantitative data. And then for qualitative data, she has an interview with the students, and the response of those type of students are different. So therefore, it claims to be fixed and mindset from these types of results. And when they say that A is smart, well, I'm not. I failed, but I can do again. It's okay to be failed. So this kinds of interview result put you into those two things, two big things. It's called fixed and growth mindset. So this is actually I've missed the detail, but this is the general ideas of research. when Wakhid mentioned that this is why we need to change our mindset, but I think this is actually related to what we call as life learning, and that itu lemah digalak. So this is actually but kalau kita try to make this into more easy to be serious. Although we can just mention that this is actually the end, and we until now, I myself cannot find how to precisely see someone's growing mind, whether A is having a mindset, whether B has a fixed mindset, unless I see and observe and talk with them.
That's true.
But we cannot just put it into a number because there are many things involved in making someone to be growth and fixed mindset.
Although we also have wax questionnaire for measuring.
But one thing we forget in this discussion is that is talking about how students handling problems. How students handling problems. So one have fixed mindset model, and the other one is growth mindset. So the idea is actually when they find problem, they face different things. So when Wakhid mentions it, yeah, he has already realized, but he didn't do that.
Yeah.
Perhaps because they don't have a problem. That's the reason.
Or they do not know how to overcome the problem.
Yeah. For example.
And they don't realize that's a problem.
For example, for example, when the lecturer giving up or push you to do something, let's say you have to finish in 1 minute, they find the reasons. This is actually related to what Wakhid mentions about procrastinations. Itu ada tipe benar. Itu judulnya inside the mind of master procrastination. Itu masalahnya adalah finding a panic monster. The panic monster is actually the problem. So you can imagine our students suddenly become very smart and brilliant within one night because we set the due date, right?
But that's interesting because I gave my students assignment every week,
So
but still they don't do that.
So you want some not making them panic. That's the problem.
I see. I need to create more. I thought I'm a monster.
That's why perhaps between Wakhid and perhaps different result.
Similar. We are similar, I think.
Yeah, but the panic monster is different.
Students fail in Pak Lala's class have opportunity to fail in my class too. But that's interesting. Yeah.
It's really interesting.
What makes me happy today is because we have lists of ideas, and we can give these to our students instead of doing that effectiveness and whatever confusing old research, right? Very old research.
And another good thing is we invest more on younger lecturers. And that's the most important part.
Yes. Do you think that we cannot change all teachers' mindset?
No.
We can change ourselves.
We can share ourselves.
Okay. Well, I have been involved in what kind of activity with those teachers long time ago. Yeah, that's so. I think we should do research more on teachers. I mean, how actually their mindset really influence the way how they are in the classroom.
Maybe first we can find out the teacher's mindset about language learning, and then the next step is we can find out how it affects their students.
I see. Wow. This paper is not enough. See?
Sekarang tuh ada nama gerakan GCM ya, itu gerakan sekolah mengenalkan itu juga changing teachers mindset.
GCM.
GSM. Sekolah mengenalkan itu inisiatornya dari orang UGM, PhD UGM, dan itu gerakan pendidikan saya.
I believe so.
Bukan orang mereka sains ada orang mereka. Jadi itu gerakan gerakan sekolah merdeka itu mencoba mengubah mindset guru. Mindset guru itu bagaimana kita itu sebagai hamba siswa, sebagai hamba siswa. Bagaimana kita memberikan pelayanan yang terbaik kepada siswa, bagaimana kita memberikan sesuatu yang sangat memuaskan siswa sehingga siswa.
We should invite him.
Dan itu udah menular ke seluruh Indonesia. Saya ikutin beberapa seminarnya dan itu bagus. Jadi sehingga tadi mindsetnya guru tuh beda, paling sedikit berubah dengan mengikuti gerakan sekolah menengah. Dan itu mungkin kita gerakan setelah kampus menyenangkan itu yang menyenangkan. Itu ada dan itu lumayan sebenarnya lumayan sangat berdampak kepada pola pengajaran guru di sekolah itu udah tingkat
So we also have gerakan rumah menyenangkan because Zaki before talk about mostly students live with their parents. Really?
Pak, jadi kalau misalkan kita bicara about the students of university itu parents itu udah sangat religious Pak. Ini sama mereka dianggap sebagai independent learners dan adalah parents sudah di luar itu.
Itu bikin on parents.
This is
Tapi ya, memang kekurangan cuman ya. I think ya parents
Pasti.
Siapa tahu kampus itu bahasa Inggris itu memang orang tuanya yang dulu.
mostly, including that student behind you.
And in my last speaking course, I talked to each students, in the midterm test, and I asked them why did they enroll or choose to major English, and most of them told me that they did not choose this major and also this university in the first place. They just joined this university because the university, their dream university, just didn't accept them. So maybe it can also affect their motivations. So we should change them.
But that's what I told my students.
We cannot change actually. They can. We just give them information.
What I told my students is I didn't want to join Stein. Stein was a very small campus here in Cirebon with low qualified lecturers. We don't have masters of education in teaching English, no, at that moment, right? So I said to my students, I was trapped. But then, what I should figure out is how can I get out from this safely? With all that I need.
Oh, very interesting.
All right. Maybe another remarks or another perspective. Listi, maybe.
Maybe I just want to share my experience. It's related to what Zaki has mentioned before. It's about network. It's about the relations among students or within the lecturers and the students. I found a student, one of our students, he has a very, maybe A1. Yeah, A1 achievement. And I would say that he could barely engage in the classroom. He spent most of his time just by playing sometimes or chatting with his friends. Couldn't concentrate in the classroom. But sometimes when I gave him a chance to speak or I guided him, he could do it. And once I asked him, because he's kept so many classrooms, maybe classroom 2.
Oh, really? What semester?
Yeah. Now, the 5th semester.
I see. Okay.
You know him.
Oh.
You know who?
And I asked him what happened. And he wants to help me.
Oh,
No one wants to help me. Actually, I want, but no one wants to help me.
so where were we at that time?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
So actually, there are a lot of types of learners here,
Mhm.
and we have to accommodate each of them. And that is the difficulty of being a teacher
Oh,
or
we need further
lecturer.
research. More research we need.
But when we could answer a question or could solve something in the classroom, their friends were going to mock him.
Ah,
Hmm.
Jadi mungkin jadi motivating.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes their friends also try to help him, but because low proficiency level and couldn't understand what the others trying to explain, itu juga kayaknya merasa kok yang lain tuh nggak membantu sama yang bisa paham sih, padahal yang lain sudah coba Pak. Tapi karena mungkin proficiency level itu mungkin masuk ke sini sebenarnya masih struggling, that's not the problem.
Kalau ini kalau saya kan PJJ ya.
Nggak tahu.
PJJ itu saya punya ini karena kalau memahaminya nggak mungkin punya pemikiran. Jadi PJJ itu I want to try to develop which is called digital learning ecology yang sehingga itu nanti bisa diadopsi di semua jurusan. Jadi mahasiswa itu punya dua lingkungan mengakselerate their ability to speaking listening. Iya, dengan apa namanya dengan prinsip karena kan seharusnya seperti tadi ketika yang masih low professional level itu nggak supportif teman-temannya, kita punya lingkungan digital yang bisa membuat mereka itu mereka bisa ekspor sendiri, mereka bisa belajar sendiri sehingga setiap siswa itu punya kesempatan yang sama untuk bisa memiliki waktunya kemampuan berbahasa. Tapi kan ideasi awalnya dari mahasiswa malah itu kan banyak yang digital resources itu yang punya. Tinggal nanti seperti bagaimana sehingga siswa itu punya dua model dalam mengimprove kemampuan bahasa. Karena kalau di kelas saja kan sebenarnya nggak mungkin mereka bisa langsung bagus kemampuan bahasa Inggris. Itu mudah-mudahan sih bisa, cuman ya we need more time and resources. Mudah-mudahan ini jadi. Nanti saya sudah mengajukan ke Jakarta terkait dengan visit and study di kalau nggak di Ohio, Princeton, kalau nggak di Nashruddin.
Okay, I'll go with you.
Make sure.
Yes, for sure. Yes, for sure.
Go fix, adaptive.
Okay. You do that for your PhD.
So if ada bisa di level kan, belum tadi sudah. Jadi bisa. And we said, can it be better? Can it be better? How do we know? How do we assess the students' mindset?
Well, not everything should be quantified.
Itu pakai itu apa namanya psiko apa namanya?
I don't know.
Apa namanya alat membuat instrumen yang tentang psikometri.
Because this is basically psychological.
Yes, of course. Yes, I know.
Ini pakai psikometri.
Okay, you do that. You have
This
two
is really
homeworks. You do
detailed.
two homeworks, that correlation and this development.
Well, I also encountered instances in my classes on how the students react or respond when they make mistakes, and also how they respond to the feedback or corrections given by me or given by their peers. So some students view the feedback or corrections as something that can guide them to improve more. And then some of them seems very defensive, but some of them seems very masa miss kayak gitu. Jadi maybe this is something to do with having certain mindset.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Is there any more? Okay. Well then, Wakhid. Provoking, thought provoking.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, maybe
Panizar or Encang ya, or Mbak siapa ya? Saya lupa. Okay, Panizar, maybe you would like to say something? No? Oh, he said something. Okay. So if there are no more perspectives, so I think we have arrived at the end of our discussion. So what we have been discussed so far is about mindset and also motivation. So there is no really clear distinctions between mindset and motivation because they are interrelated, interconnected. And then in motivations, we have growth mindset, we have fixed mindset, and then in motivation, we have intrinsic and also extrinsic motivations. So for learners, language learners with growth mindset, maybe they will learn from mistake, from challenges or difficulties that they encountered, and then they will grow as a learners. Yeah, they will increase their potentials because I think they do not really rely heavily on their innate ability or talent because they believe that efforts and hard work will get them far in learning a language. Yeah, because efforts can conquer everything. Yeah, from what you said. I think it is really important for us as a teachers, as a language educators, to help our students to activate the brain that help them grow their mindset and also to activate their intrinsic motivations, yeah, how to internalize the external motivations from us, from their surrounding, to be the intrinsic motivation. But the question is how? Yeah. The question is how. And then maybe we can also do more tinkering about the activity that can help our students to activate that growth mindset. Because we do not only act as a teacher, but we also a learner. So we should have, the lecturers should have a growth mindset, I think. Of course. Okay, I guess that's all. Thank you so much, Pak Wakhid, for the thought-provoking presentation. Please give applause to Pak Wakhid. And everyone here. Let's close our forum, the third ELTRIS, by reciting Hamdalah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Thank you so much, and don't forget to attend the next meeting of ELTRIS, yeah, in the next 3 weeks. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Break dulu buat nanti rapat jurusan.
Oh iya, foto.
Mau foto, ayo foto ayo.